The DC rumor mill has cranked out a real doozy. According to the rumor mongers that we got this covered, Warner Brothers and DC Films have eyes on a big name to portray the next version of the Joker, who will face off against Robert Pattinson's Batman, Johnny Depp.
I've been considering things that begin with the letter M. Moron, mutiny, murder.
It seems unlikely that the Clown Prince of Crime will pop up in writer-director Matt Reeves' upcoming The Batman, in which Pattinson's Dark Knight will make his debut. We got this covered, supposed sources don't dispute that. Instead, they're alleging that Warner Brothers is already looking to lock down the Joker role for a sequel to Pattinson's first outing, and that Depp is at the top of their list of candidates. If we're being honest, that feels pretty unlikely too. As you may be aware, WGTC is not exactly a super reliable source of inside information. No other media outlets have even caught a whiff of this potential casting, and Depp is currently under, shall we say, a little bit of scrutiny in the media. This all adds up to this rumor most likely being, as they say, a bunch of hooey. That doesn't mean that Pattinson's Bruce Wayne won't have to contend with his cackling arch-nemesis at some point, however. In fact, we find it quite likely that the Batman's inevitable sequel could introduce the Joker. Absent some more reputable sources, though, we just don't think it'll be Johnny Depp in the role. Assuming that the Batman does get at least one follow-up picture, it seems silly to think that the Joker won't get involved at some point. There's one thing, however, that we know for sure, and if we've said this once, we've said this a million times. But just in case you forgot, here's one last reminder. It won't be the version portrayed by Joaquin Phoenix in last year's billion-dollar hit Joker.
I'm just trying to make people laugh.
And how's that going for you?
We know this for more than one reason, not the least of which is that Joker's director, Todd Phillips, shot any speculation on the matter full of holes long before the flick was even released. Variety reports that, when asked about the possibility of Phoenix's Arthur Fleck having a run-in with Pattinson's Caped Crusader at some point, Phillips flatly stated, quote, "No, definitely not. There will be many more Jokers, I'm sure, in the future." Since then, we've gotten photos from the set of The Batman which strongly indicate that the picture is set no earlier than the mid-2000s. Considering that Joker was set in 1981, this would mean that Arthur Fleck would be just a bit too old to take on the young, sprightly Batman who will be featured in Reeves' movies. For that matter, the 56-year-old Depp is also probably a bit too long in the tooth to be seriously considered for the role of the Joker. To say nothing of fan-favorite choice Willem Dafoe, who is even older. No, the next actor to step into the Joker's clown shoes is likely to be much closer in age to the 33-year-old Pattinson. Anyway, speaking of Joker, while Joker 2 hasn't yet been confirmed, it seems all but inevitable given the first movie's stellar box office performance. If it happens to get the green light sooner rather than later, then there's a chance that Arthur Fleck's next big screen appearance could arrive before Oh Batman, Where Art Thou? Or whatever the Batman sequel actually ends up being called. If this is the case, then our next cinematic Joker could be part of a twofer, as the rumor mill has also recently suggested that Joker 2 will see Arthur contending with the real Joker, a younger, even more violent criminal who was influenced by the events of the first film. The rumor-o-matic has even spit out one possibility as to who might take on the role, Ben Barnes, who portrayed Jigsaw in the Marvel Netflix series The Punisher. Of course, until we hear something official, we're inclined to file this under WS for wild speculation, or even BS for you-know-what. The big bad picture will undoubtedly become clearer when the Batman hits the big screen on June 25th, 2021. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about your favorite movies and TV shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.